What's up, guys? So today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you guys all about the moment that you get to know that you are different. Okay, it's quite an important episode, and I'm going to say that again. So it's the moment you know that you are different. I want to sort of share a quick little story today about how I knew that I was different and when I knew I was different and why. Okay, so I'm going to look forward to sharing that in the episode. Guys, let's get the theme song on. I'll see you in the episode.
So the big question is this: if you were starting your first online business with no audience, no customers, no group, no following, completely from scratch, how would you actually do that? What steps would you need to take? I want to share with you my young entrepreneur journey as I get to launch my first ever online business for the first time. So that's the question. This podcast is the answer. My name is Kane Pointing and welcome to the Young Entrepreneur's Secrets Podcast. Let's have some fun.
What's up, guys? Woohoo! Hope you had a great weekend. Okay, yes, it's Monday. I hope everybody had an absolutely fantastic weekend. You've just enjoyed it. And now this week, you're ready for the week. You're ready to take on the week and put some awesome stuff out there as young entrepreneurs. Now, today's episode is not something that I've learned. It's actually a story that I want to tell you guys. And it's something that's hit me hard before. But I want to sort of share this with you just in case that you can relate to this. Because if you can, don't worry, all right? So this episode is all about the moment that you know that you are different. Okay, the moment that you know when you are different. It's going to be it's going to look like a little quick story for myself. This is actually something that happened to me. And this is a part of me. This is who I am. I want to share that with you guys, all right? So as you all know, I am 21 years old, and yes, I'm 21 years old, looking a little bit like active. But this story sort of starts when I was in school. Okay, it's all the way back when I was sort of 11 or 12 years old. When I was in school, it's about year 7. Okay, and I was like, I remember this moment. I was in my class, and someone said, "Oh, Kane, where's Kane Pointing?" And I was, "Yes, I'm here." And they were like, it was a dance class, and they were like, "Oh, you need to come now because your dad's picking you up." And I was like, "Oh, okay, it's a bit weird." Like, halfway through the day, I said, "Oh, what's going on, Dad?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna go do this activity thing." I was like, "Oh, okay, this is quite cool. What is it?" And we went to this place in Oxford, and it was like this building. I can still remember the building is now. But like I said, it was like when I was 11 or 12 years old. So quite a long time ago. But this building, it was like we went in there and it was this big massive pool, and I had to do all these little different activities, but they were actually really tests. Okay. And what this was down to, it was all about if I was dyslexic or not. Because they wanted to find out if I was dyslexic or not. It was an Oxford University sort of testing thing. And I was going through all the little tests, and they said, "Oh, you are dyslexic." And I was like, "What the hell is this?" And with that, I was like, "Okay, what does that mean?" not too sure. And they were like, "Yeah, you got a short-term memory and that sort of stuff." And I was like, "Oh, okay, alrighty." I remember sort of crying after with my dad, thinking like, "What the hell does that mean?" Like, "Oh no, I'm not like you, Dad, am I?" But really, I was actually okay because my dad said one thing to me, and that was, "It's actually an advantage to be dyslexic that others don't have." Okay, other people aren't dyslexic, but when you are dyslexic, you have an advantage over them. I was like, okay, but I was still like tearing up, like, "Oh my God, what does this mean?" I was like a bit confused and that sort of stuff. But really, my mum and dad were like, "It's okay, it's normal, don't worry, nothing wrong with you. Just like you think differently than other people. It's actually an advantage." And I was like, okay, don't know what that means. I don't want to be different. But I remember the next day, I came back to school. And I was just confused. I wasn't really sure like what dyslexia was. Didn't have a clue. I knew my dad had it. Just didn't really know what it was, what it really meant. But as a few weeks went on, like with being diagnosed as being dyslexic, I had support from teachers and also my mum and dad. And those teachers were helping. Those like specifically designed teachers with like how you have dyslexia and how you can learn and that sort of stuff, and write and spell and that sort of stuff. Now I can spell, I can write, so that's why I was like, I'm not too sure what this means. I don't think I am dyslexic. That's what I was like at that time. But now I wouldn't ever change it for the life. But I didn't really tell anybody that I was dyslexic. I didn't tell any of my friends. Didn't didn't want to tell teachers that I was dyslexic because I didn't want to be labelled as stupid. Because I know some people can get labelled with, oh yeah, you know, I'm autistic, and they're like, oh, that guy's stupid. So no, it's not. He thinks differently. It's more advantage. He thinks a different way than other people, and that's fine. But you know, I don't want to be labelled as the stupid kid. And with my dyslexia, I've got short-term memory, so I forget everything. So it happens all the time. So sometimes I'm like, what am I talking about? And it happens. Sometimes I can't spell certain words, but that's just life. But as I got older, I sort of, you know, dealt with it. I had support through like teachers, and every Wednesday we would do little things, and you know, just to make sure that I knew what was going on. She would help me and that sort of stuff. And it was the lady called Miss Dix. She's a lovely lady. Miss Dix, she's an amazing lady. She's so nice. She really helped me. And she gave me these books, like this dyslexia book of like how to, people are like, oh, if you can't spell, go in the dictionary. I'm like, well, how's that going to help me? So she would tell me how to sort of do certain things and get used to it. But as I got older, I wouldn't mind asking questions in class, you know, put my hand up. So I got a bit more confident, you know, and also in the business, you know, the business we had at Laser Gaming, I was doing briefings. So I was getting more confident with that, okay, being around people and expressing myself. But this next thing I'm about to tell you that happened a few years when I was getting older, you know, this was like the last 2 years of school. It happened a few times with a few teachers on different occasions. And what it was is I remember this time I was in my maths class and I was there and I asked a question. You know, bear in mind, like I was getting a bit more comfortable with asking questions. I was there and I asked a question. I was like, "Oh, miss, what is what? I don't get it. What is that?" And I was told not to ask stupid questions. Okay, this is like when I was like, I can't remember what age. I think 16. I was told not to ask stupid questions, and I was actually tallied on this board in front of the whole class of like 35 people. My name came, stupid questions, tallied, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I was tallied on how many deliberate stupid questions I was asking. Now I thought it was just a joke, like, oh, okay, she's just having a bit of a laugh. It wasn't a joke. It was that one time when she's there telling, okay, you're asking stupid questions, Kane. Everybody would laugh, you know, like, okay, it's funny, yeah, okay, cool, you're funny, miss. But then that wasn't just one teacher. I have an English teacher, and I go, miss, I just don't understand. I put my hand up, okay, ask a question. You know, why did you not listen? I'm like, what? I just forgot what you just said. Stop being so stupid, Kane. Yeah, that's what people would tell me. And I'm like, what? And even I have my geography teacher. You tell me that I'm stupid, something's wrong with me. Yeah, and then I said, I'm dyslexic. Yeah, so it's like dyslexic. I want to ask questions. You've got a problem with me asking questions. That moment when I told that teacher I'm dyslexic, her face dropped because she realised that she was actually bullying people. Okay, because there's people out there, and I stand against this, which bully people because they're different in their eyes. But I'm a dyslexic person. I'm not different. Other people are different to me. But how I learn is how I learn. I accept who I am. And there's other people out there who are dyslexic, who are more advantaged people. They're highly advantaged people than the standard average human being. Okay, than the average people. Because they're smarter, they think differently, they think out of the box, okay? And those dyslexic people are young entrepreneurs. Even if you're not dyslexic, you can still be a young entrepreneur. But for me, it was like being told that you're stupid for asking questions. You're deliberately asking stupid questions. And what's wrong with you? Who says that? No one should ever say that. No one should ever go through the pain being told that you're stupid. The questions you're asking are stupid. They're pointless. They're deliberately being done. And that also, the thing of like, what's wrong with you? Nothing's wrong with me. Yeah, I'm different to everybody else because I think differently. I'm more advantaged than everybody else. I think out of the box. I think entrepreneurial. Okay, because my purpose in life is to change people's lives. I have the burning desire inside of me. It's like, I want to give back to people. I want people who felt like me, who are told they're stupid, don't ask stupid questions at school, follow the rules. Okay, you should know, try and think. Okay, try and listen a bit. Okay, yeah, I'm against that BS. I stand against that. Okay, the whole school thing. I believe personally that there's teachers in there that just slash kids like me. Okay, who are like, oh, they're dyslexic, they're stupid. But really, what they don't know is that the people like me who are dyslexic, the dyslexic people change the world. Okay, there's massive multi-billionaires, millionaires who are dyslexic because they think differently. They think out of the box. Okay, but they accept it for themselves. For me and my dad, it's like we're both dyslexic, but we are different people. And to the other people, we might be stupid and weird. We're not stupid and weird. To us, it's like we're different, but we're more advanced. Okay, we think differently because we're more advanced than the average human being. Okay, we think like, oh, there's a concept we could design. We can see things, and I'm like, well, I can see that we're connecting and that thing, and I can zoom in and zoom out. So I see the whole thing. But there's also a certain way I learn. There's people that, oh, well, just follow the system, just learn it out of the book. So I don't like learning that way. Okay, so it's like how you prefer to learn. And that's the same thing as teachers think you just have to adapt to it, but they have to adapt to you because you learn differently. Everybody learns differently. And for me, I was like, that's what when I was doing my thing with my teacher, my support teacher, she was helping me of how I can learn, how I write down stuff and to visualize with colors and that sort of stuff. And I'm a very color guy. But I knew that being told that I was stupid, I should follow the rules, I should stop asking deliberate stupid questions and just, like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, that was not a part. And at that moment, I knew that I was different from other people because I wasn't like them. I wasn't like the average people in the class who were like, oh yes, I'm going to get a B and an A. Okay, yeah, I got C's and B's and A's, but I was different because inside of me, it was like, I don't like going to school. I don't want to just waste my time in sixth form, college and university. I want to get out there. I want to get practical. I want to be doing multiple things. I want to help people. I want to see people. I want to like do other stuff. And that was a bit of an entrepreneurial thing. I was like, I want to build stuff. Yeah. And I don't like rules and I don't like being told what to do. Okay. So when they're like, you should follow this, you need to do that. And I was like, I don't need to do that. And I looked at the school rules and I was like, these rules are just stupid. They're like, they convert, they just cancel each other out. One rule says this and the other rule says that one doesn't apply. Like, what's that about? But the whole system of the school just annoys me because it's like, you're just being taught. You have to learn. You never do anything. So when I say learn, implement, earn, it was just, you learn, and that's it. And you're like, but I haven't implemented. Well, how can I earn? So that's why I didn't go to college. I didn't go to college, didn't go to sixth form, didn't go to university. I did an apprenticeship at my mum and dad's business. And it was about sales and marketing apprenticeship. I was like, it's going to be cool. I'm going to design stuff, put it out there, like get, practical stuff. And I don't know. And I do have a marketing, I think, diploma, but really, you could say to me, what did you learn now? I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. This lady who came out, she just basically was like, you need to write this. And I was like, okay, write it down. So I don't really know 100% about that. But for myself, it's like, I don't need to have a qualification. I don't need a diploma. I don't need to go to university to think I'm amazing. Yeah, and all this. And like, people go to these things because sometimes their mum and dads want them to, because they're like, you should go to university, the best thing ever. It's like, well, what's it for? For me, I didn't do that. For me, like, look, 21 years old, I've got a podcast. Okay, I'm building a business for my mum and dad. And we're doing summits. I'm speaking to people who are multi-millionaires, with like $1 million, $10 million, $100 million, from all over the world. Okay, I'm speaking to those people. You don't get that if you're in university. Yeah, they don't teach this. So when I say this thing, I look back and I go, the moment I knew I was different, would I change it? No, wouldn't change it. But I know there's other people like me who are being told that every day. Oh, you're stupid. You're different. Yeah, just stop asking deliberate stupid questions. What's wrong with you? Yeah, you should say to them, nothing's wrong with me. I am who I am. If you've got a problem with that, that's your problem. But I accept who I am. I love who I am. I wouldn't change being dyslexic. I think it's an advantage, and I want to give back to those people who are like me, who get told from someone else's point of view, who they're just a maths teacher, just an English teacher, just a geography teacher. And what you're a young entrepreneur. You change lives. I want to change the world. I want to change lives. I want to impact people. I want to set them free so they can do whatever they want to do. Those teachers don't do that. What those teachers do, they bring you down. Okay, that's what they've done to me, is they try to make me feel like crap. And I stand against that. I stand against that BS, because those people, in a couple of years' time, when I've changed my life completely, and I'm impacting these people, I'm sending positivity to these people, and I'm making sure that the lives they live, they want to live those lives because they get to do that. That's something I do because I want to do that. Something inside of me now, like, that's my passion. I want to help you guys. That's why I'm doing this podcast, is that I want to share this message to you guys. I want to share my journey as a young entrepreneur who's 21 years old, who's dyslexic, okay, who's doing it with his mum and dad, who's building this new business, getting connections in, building email automation, building funnels, doing Facebook Lives and that sort of stuff, what it really takes. But there's people out there who are like, oh, you won't ever do that. But it's like, screw them. Okay, be you, be yourself. That's what I do. Is I wear this hashtag young entrepreneur t-shirt top because I am a hashtag young entrepreneur. Okay, and so are you. But don't let anybody stand in your way saying, oh, you can't do that. You're just asking stupid questions. You're not asking stupid questions. You want to ask those questions, you will ask those questions. Okay, because to you, those questions are important. Okay, they're like, I need to know that little question. You ask that question because you get to ask it. You're not stupid. They're the stupid ones thinking that you're stupid because you're really the smartest person. You're more advanced than everyone else in that classroom. You asking that question, there's probably 5 other people in the back of the class who ain't got the balls to say anything. But they're sat there like, I don't ask because I'm going to get in trouble. But you as a dyslexic person, or you as a young entrepreneur, you ask that question. You put the other 5 back at ease. They're like, oh, I should ask that. Yeah, you might get tallied on the board with your name, asking stupid questions, and you're the only person on the board. And everybody else is looking, and there's 35 people in the class. But it doesn't matter because you are a young entrepreneur, and you put your balls out there. You go out there, and you're like, yes, this is me. I accept who I am. I don't care if anybody else doesn't accept me. I am who I am. Okay, that is you. And today, this podcast about, you know, when you realise that moment, you know, you're different. I knew I was different when I got my dyslexic test. I was like, okay, I'm different. And I saw that these teachers going, well, no, like I said to you, the teachers going, oh, you're asking stupid questions. I'm different. Yeah, I am different to everyone else. I'm not stupid. I'm not lower than everybody else. I'm actually higher than them. Don't care about grades. Don't care about grades. If I've got A, B, C, or D, or even E, I've got C's and B's and A's, even an A star. Okay. And some of these teachers, they said, I can't believe you've done that. How did you do it? You must have had help. And I said, yeah, I had tutors. Because my tutor, at the time, his name was, there was 2, Phil and Natalie, lovely people. I hope Phil is doing amazing. But pretty much they helped me, and I said, Natalie, I've got a question. She's like, okay, ask me. I was like, okay, it's about this. And she helped me with all my stuff. I got more help from her than I did from my geography teacher for 2 years. I was asking stuff about maths to Phil. I was asking stuff about maths and English. And then I was like, yeah, this is awesome. This is what my teacher said. He's like, no, don't do that. Do this. This is great. And the other people didn't like how I didn't do their ways. But to me, dyslexic person, this was like, you're like this way it came because it's a bit more dyslexic friendly. And I was like, love it. And folders, and I was really organised because that's what I like to do. I like to write down on paper and that's it, happy days. I like to get out there, be a bit more, go back to the points I can look at. And these teachers didn't like it. But to me, it was the way I learn, the way I like it. I don't have to make other people happy about the way I've got to follow. I don't follow the rules, okay? You know, I didn't like following the rules and the systems. You must do it this way. My God, I did it that way. I like it this way. So that's why for me, I accepted I was different. Okay, I had help from other people that understood me, understood how I learn, how I do it because I'm dyslexic. But there's people who don't understand. They treat you like crap, and I stand against that. Those people, they're the people who try to prevent entrepreneurship, try to prevent any change in system because they're just an employee. They're just an employee. They follow the system. As entrepreneurs, we don't follow the system. We want to make our own thing. We want to make something that's our soul. Okay, like, this is ours. Okay, this is ours. I made this. This is amazing. And that's been inside me. Like, I want to make this. This is why I'm making this. Like, I've got my face on a podcast. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I've got my own t-shirt. I've made my own t-shirt because I want to make my tribe. Yeah, my tribe of people who are like, yes, we're young entrepreneurs. And I hope you are when you listen to this. But this episode, I know it's quite a long one, but for you guys is the moment you know when you are different. It could be any point. It could be when you're like 35 years old. And I had someone reach out to me the other day, actually. A good friend of mine, and he said, like, Kane, didn't know you was dyslexic. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. Actually, I read it out now. He said, I didn't know you was dyslexic. 2 seconds, guys. Let me just quickly grab it for you. So he said this, Kane, I didn't realise you're dyslexic. I found out last year that I am too. It all makes sense now to why I can only learn a certain way and always get stuck in the learning loop. All right. And I said, mate, don't worry. Yeah. And I said, I always get stuck in the learning loop. I always get stuck in the learning loop too, because I know some people say being dyslexic is a disability. But hell no, it ain't. Okay, we love to know more, because asking questions, we love to know more. We're like, oh, that's the key. Some people are like, you just need to learn it, and that's it, job done. I'm like, but I want to know why the DNS record didn't work. Okay, I want to know why that funnel, that payment gateway didn't work. I was like, I just want to know why. So then the next time I can suss it out, I can help someone else and go, buddy, if you've got the same problem, I'm going to help you there, because I went through the same thing and it took me like 3 days. This is how you do it. And they're like, oh, thank you so much. I want to give value. I want to help people. And that's why when you're dyslexic, I found out when I was 11 or 12 years old. This person found out when, I can't remember, 35 years old, I can't remember. But when you realise you're different from other people, it's okay. First you can be like, oh, I'm different. But really, like me, you accept it and you go, I am different. I love being different. I'm proud to be different because I'm more advanced than everyone else. I'm smarter than everyone else because I think differently. Okay, and that's the advantage. We get that advantage from everybody else, or the average standard human beings. We get that advantage. And you might not even have to be dyslexic. You might just have that thing inside of you where you're like, I'm not dyslexic. You might be tested dyslexia and you're not. I'm not saying you have to be dyslexic to be an entrepreneur. But I'm saying, like, you might have something inside you like, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like being in the system. I don't like being a part of, like, you have to be told what to do. Yeah, and like, I want to make my own thing. And if you have that, that's cool. But for me, I'm dyslexic and I have that. And that's what I feel like I want to give back. But the moment you know you're different, accept it. Enjoy it, because it's a lovely moment. And no matter what anybody else says to you, how anybody tries to treat you and say you're stupid, you're dumb. I've been called dumb, stupid, and many other things. But hey ho, there's me stood here now, podcasting, trying to change my life, bring value to other people, okay, trying to share my message and share what's inside of me to other people so they can benefit from it, compared to someone who just doesn't want to bother in life. Okay, I want to help people the right way, not try and pull them down and say how crap they are. Okay, I stand against that BS. I want to help. I want to uplift these people. I want to set them free so they can change life. They can change the world. They can get a message out there. Okay, that's what I want to do. I want to inspire these people so much that they just want to give. Okay, I just want to give to people. That's what I want to do. So, guys, I hope I have shared some cool stuff today. But I say it was a quick story. I think it was about 20 minutes. But that was a sort of a story from, the moment that I knew that I was different to other people. Okay. But I know inside of you as well, you can be thinking, yeah, when did I know that I was different? When did I realise that I was different to everybody else? Where everybody else was doing the same pattern and my pattern wasn't that. It was different. Everybody else was going to sixth form, college and university. What was I doing? I was building business. Or I was driving down to Southampton, going to Google, learning stuff about Google Places, so I could uplift my business with reviews and make it amazing and really get the SEO on the internet. Okay, and people will learn about chemistry. Okay, so yes, it's different. We are different. I am different, but that's the best thing about it. We're different. We're more advanced. So, and you are a true young entrepreneur. You're a true young entrepreneur. What's inside of you, there's a passion, there's a reason why you're listening to this, because you're like, I want to know how this guy built his business to 6 figures. Okay, like, yeah, because I want to. You might want to do it. But I'm saying to you guys, like, you can do it, and I can do it. I'm going for it. I'm giving it a go. Okay, because I believe I'm a true young entrepreneur. Okay, I believe what's inside of me, it's different to other people, and that's why I've got a burning desire. But there's some people like, oh, why would you want to help people? I want to help people because there's people like me who need my help. And I'm like, look, mate, I know what you feel because I felt the same thing. Don't worry, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm going for it now. Do you want to come along? Like, yeah, please. So I'm doing it so I can help you guys, so I can just show you guys, look, I've done it. Don't worry, it feels fine. Okay, just follow the lead. Just follow me along. I'll guide you there. Okay, and that's what I'm trying. I'm trying to help people realize that you can do it, no matter what anybody says. Well, you're stupid, dumb. Okay, you're retarded. I've had people call me that before. Okay, we're not. They're really the stupid ones because they underestimate us. We're the ones who change lives. Okay, we're the ones that what we do actually does matter. Okay, and we do change the world for the greater good. We give value, we help people, we uplift people, we uplift those people. We don't drag them down, we uplift them, we take them to a next level, we put them beyond. Okay, that's what we do as young entrepreneurs. We change the world, we change people. So guys, thank you for listening today. I know it was a bit of a long episode. It was a bit of a deep episode, but I hope you enjoyed it. But like I say, the moment you realise you are different, accept it, enjoy it. All right. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are. If you did like today's episode, like I say, feel free to message me on Instagram, Facebook, say, Kane, I loved it. Let me know your thoughts. Because like I say, we're different people, we're a different breed, but we are the coolest breed. So guys, yes, we are the 1% awesome, by the way. Okay, so that's on messaging me there saying, I like the 1% awesome. We are the hashtag 1% awesome and hashtag young entrepreneur. So guys, I'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, guys. I hope what I've shared with you today has helped you and really inspired you in your young entrepreneurial journey. If this episode did help you today, feel free to tag me in your biggest takeaways, aha moments, and let me know how much you love this by leaving a 5-star review. Or even if you want to share it with like-minded young entrepreneurs who you think might benefit the podcast, feel free to do so. You're thinking, I want to get instant notifications when the new episodes drop. You can hit the subscribe button and you'll get notified when I drop them. Once again, guys, thank you so much for listening. And remember, you are one true young entrepreneur in the making. And I'll speak to you in the next episode.